Hey everyone, welcome back to another Ask Mevo Anything. I am Joe Capehart. I am the Senior Technical Specialist here at Mevo, and today we are going to talk about graphical overlays, which is perfect because it looks like the first question we have today is going to be regarding graphical overlays, and that's what we're going to be spending majority of the show going over. As always though, be sure to put your questions in the chat. I'd be more than happy to answer those live today. And if you have any technical questions, you can of course open up a ticket, help.mevo.com, and we can address those issues or questions there. Please, if you are in the chat today, let us know where you're viewing from. We're very intrigued to know where everyone's watching from. It seems our viewership continues to spread far and wide across the globe, so please let us know where you're watching from. And if you are using a Mevo already and you want to share your content that you're making Mevo with, you believe it's unique, you want us to see it, make sure you hashtag Mevo Camera, and that way our marketing team can get a hold of it and then share that information and maybe even share the post across our social platforms. If you do like these shows, be sure to follow us, like, subscribe at Mevo Camera on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. And I believe that's it. I think I've wrapped just about everything up so far. But we are live at Mevo Camera. We do this 4 times a week. I have a little graphic here I can show you. We go live on Tuesdays with Ask Mevo Anything. It's today's show where it's me answering all of your questions, and we try to have a little schedule to go with. For Wednesdays we do a Mevo Multicam show. That's with Will Kirkpatrick, a Senior Technical Specialist here at Mevo, and he is the guru when it comes to multicam show. When it comes to multicam in general, he's been inside and out of it since the early beta stages, so he's always testing new and showing you how you can utilize 3 cameras at once. Thursday we have Mevo Live, which is Will and I. We double team a show where we demonstrate and show screen demonstrations of both the Mevo 2.0 app and the Mevo Multicam app. On Friday we have the Mevo Audio show, which features Joseph Pisani. He is a audio engineer here at Mevo. He's actually a technical specialist, but his background's in audio engineering. He's worked on television, he's worked with movies, and he knows the ins and outs of audio, whether it's onboard audio with the Mevo camera or external audio sources. And if you have any audio questions, I'm telling you, I tune in every Friday and I learn something new every time. So if you're interested in our live shows, that is our current schedule right now. So be sure to come and check that out on Fridays, or well, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Let's go ahead and get into some questions. So George says, how did you create the countdown clock for starting soon? So that countdown is actually a graphic that was created outside of the Mevo app, but the countdown functionality itself was all done within the Mevo 2.0 app, and I will get into that shortly. And since we are talking about how I accomplished this, I want to make sure that everyone's aware. For today's show, we always use a single Mevo start, or a single Mevo camera in general, and I control all of the overlays with the Mevo 2.0 app. Now, for demonstration purposes, I will be using OBS so I can do a reflect of the screen so you can see exactly what I see in the app. That way, we can all see exactly what's going on. So the actual mirroring, which looks like this, this is all done with OBS. So this is not done with the Mevo 2.0 app. However, all of the other overlays that you're going to be seeing today will all be done within the Mevo 2.0 app. So let's go ahead and answer that question, shall we? Let's go ahead and show you. Actually, let me finish up. We talked about we're using the Mevo Start, sorry, and OBS, and then we're using the Mevo 2.0 app for graphics. For audio, I have this blue baby bottle microphone. This is an XLR microphone going into an audio mixer that's right over here, going directly to the 3.5 on the back of the Mevo Start for the audio solution. So the Mevo is going to handle all audio syncing between the video and audio. Okay, now I think we're ready. So what you're going to want to do for an overlay like this, let me go ahead and just go to full screen so you can see everything. You will notice that the audio for this is going to be slightly out of sync, and that's because this reflector app has a slight delay. So don't try to sync up my lips in this video and the audio that you're hearing, because those will not be in sync. So when you want to do an overlay, you're going to press on the bottom right, you have this little stanchion here. And if you just press that and then press this middle plus button, you're going to have a few different options. On the far right side, you'll see you have slide, presentation, and countdown. So let's say we want to do a countdown. Today's show was started at 2 p.m. You can either set it based on your time, or you can set it based on a duration. So for countdown, I typically always have one set for the time and a duration. That way, if we are late on the time, I can just say, okay, no matter what time I start, we have a 3-minute countdown to allow users to get into the live show. You don't really want to start delivering content right away. You want to make sure that they can see and give them time to load into it and get comfortable before you start presenting content. Otherwise, you'll be presenting to a smaller number of people. Give some people some time to get in. So let's just say we want to do 3 minutes here. For this overlay, we usually use things, you've seen the graphic that was created by our marketing team. I don't think, of course, I didn't save it on here. Why would I? That doesn't make any sense. So anyways, let's just say we're going to do this one here. This is one of the first videos that I did with Mevo. So let's just say we're going to do, this was for the Mevo Mic app. So let's say we're going to create an overlay for the Mevo Mic app video release or something, right? So all you had to do is select the duration. We select 3 minutes. We select the image. We select the text. Now, here's one thing I didn't cover is that you can actually go ahead and even modify all of these color things or coordinations. You want to do white, black, or you want to blue, green, whatever you might want to do, you can do all of that. You can also change the transparency here so there's no background at all. So let's go back and you'll see it's still uploading here. Now, one thing you really want to know when it comes to doing this is that this entire process is being uploaded to the micro SD card, not to your mobile device. Unless you're using Multicam, then it's slightly different, but then it'll end up on the SD card. Well, no. If you're using Multicam, it's saved on the mobile device. If you're using Mevo 2.0 like I am today, it's going to be saved on the SD card. Mobile device for Multicam, SD card for Mevo 2.0. And the reason is for the Mevo 2.0 app, the Mevo Start or the Mevo Camera, whichever generation you have, is going to be do the encoding, whereas for Multicam, your mobile device is actually doing the encoding. So that's where the graphical overlays will be stored. So basically you have no limitation on how many overlays you have except the size of the actual the SD card. So there it is, my overlay's done. I'm gonna select it. So you can, fun fact is you can put it in the top right, top left, you can make it full screen and press the checkbox and it starts. You'll see in the top right there, it's began and it'll count down. Now, when this countdown is done, the entire overlay is gonna actually disappear. And then you can just, begin your presentation. Or if you want to bring it down a little bit sooner, you can go in here and press that red circle, check, and it's gone. So it's pretty simple how to just go ahead and add a countdown like that. Now, another thing that you can do is use this for a lot of really cool things. So for example, I was talking about earlier, maybe I want to do a segment that's timed, right? Maybe we're doing, maybe I'm timing the show and I'm saying, this show is going to be 45 minutes and I want to show that how much time's left in the show until we're closing out. Or if I want to talk about something and I try to limit each topic about 1 minute. So I could do something like this where it's like next round and show that here as well. You can't really see it here, so I want to go ahead and do it on the main screen and show you what that actually would look like. So now you can see right here, we've got the next round. We're doing 1 minute segments or something like that. You can use it for a lot of really cool things. You can use it for countdowns to the beginning of the event. You can do it for intermission, whether it's a school play or halftime at a sporting event or something like that. In between quarters, whatever, right? So you have a lot of freedom, and as soon as the countdown's over, that overlay will disappear and allow you, you can, as soon as it's over, you can actually reapply it. So you don't even have to recreate a new one if you want to use it for multiple different situations. All right, so let's get back into some more questions. Maximus says, when will we be able to connect more than 3 cameras on the Multicam app? That's a great question, Maximus. Unfortunately, we don't have a timeline for that. We don't have a timeline if or when that will happen. We've not announced that we're gonna release more cameras. Ideally, I think that would be something that'd be really cool, but that's not something that we've made official that was gonna happen. Danielle Kempoli says, could be possible to have temporary graphics, titles that last 10 seconds. No, that's a great idea. Just like that countdown you just seen disappear over here, I think that'd be an awesome thing, especially for like over the lower thirds. I like having my lower thirds up, but I don't need it up for more than 5-10 seconds for people to understand or realize who I am. So I agree. I think that'd be a great feature, and I will definitely pass that along to the team. Alex says, is NDI input coming anytime soon? Great question, Alex. So I can only assume that you're asking specifically about multicam. That is something that we've announced that is coming. Well, NDI in general, whether that's output or input. But we don't have a timeline for that either, unfortunately. Ben Beck says, any reason you're not streaming to YouTube today? We are? Are we not? Oh, it's unlisted. Would you look at that? Mistakes were made. Let me see if I can fix that real quick while we're at it. I apologize. That was not supposed to be the case. Let me see if I can fix that. Well, I apologize for that. It will be on YouTube. Really unsure why it's... There it is. Public. Save. There you go. So it is now on YouTube. I apologize for that. Thanks for pointing that out. Yes, we do go live to both Facebook and YouTube. Unfortunately, it was unlisted for some reason. But if you do want a 1080p quality stream, YouTube allows this. So if you want to see this specific show in 1080p, you can go over there and check that out right now. It's Mevo Camera on YouTube. youtube.com/Mevo Camera. Okay, awesome. So let's get into a little bit more graphics again. Let's get back into it. Let me shift this back over now that I'm back out of YouTube. Awesome. All right, let's get back into the demo. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do aside of, countdowns. Countdowns are super useful, but we also, specifically myself, I really love using slideshow PowerPoints for my shows because a lot of my shows are very... I go over the topics a lot, specifically like networking. Networking is a huge one because it's a very common issue that people have is something with their networks. So there's no reason to recreate the wheel. I have a slideshow and that helps me guide and make sure I cover each of my topics as I'm discussing them. So you can simply upload a PDF that you've exported from whether Google Slides or any kind of slideshow software, export as a PDF. You can go through here, you can preview and see if maybe it is the right slideshow. And once you determine it's the right slideshow, this one is for networking and RTMP and APIs. Once you see it's the right one, we can press the check mark and it's going to begin uploading that to the SD card. And this one will take a while. So there are some limitations for this. One of the big ones is 50 slides. You can't have more than 50 slides. However, you can have as many 50 slide ones as you want as long as you can fit it within your micro SD card's size of the card. Let's see here. Wonderful. So we're going to keep letting that go and I'll show you what kind of really cool stuff you can do with that. Let me go ahead and get out of here for a minute and I'll show you some other stuff. So in the top left and the top right, you'll notice these little square boxes. We've got one, let me see if I can do this. There we go, one right there. That's kind of fun. And we'll run right there. So if you press on those, you can select something like a logo or something like that. So let's go ahead and select this Mevo logo. And now what's cool is, on help.mevo.com, we have every single one of the specs, the resolution sizes they should be, the recommended sizes and everything like that. But for example, this one's not perfectly sized. So you can just see me this and I say, I just want to make the Mevo logo as big as we want it to be and press check. Now that that's done, we can begin uploading that. And now I can place this logo wherever I want on the screen. So let's just give it a moment and see how long that takes to upload. So now this is useful for, and it doesn't even have to be your business. You can use this for advertisement space, right? So if you're doing any kind of sporting event or something like that, you want the sporting league or any businesses to sponsor the event, sponsor your hardware, whatever it might be, your time. You can make sure you get their logos up there during the stream without taking up too much real estate, which is pretty cool. So we're going to let that go for a little bit. Let's see what's going on over here. So the slideshow is still uploading. So we're just going to give both of these a little bit more time, hopefully. They'll finish up sooner than later. Let's see here. So there's some other really cool ones. Obviously, you guys seen at the beginning of the show right here that I did my lower third. Now I can show you how to make something extremely simple. And as you can see, it's simple and effective. And you can do all of this within the app. So say I want to do, you can do it just a single line if you wanted to. You can change the colors again. And let's see here. Let's do a double line. So we'll go Echo Artanis, and we will put lead goodest boy. Add an image. Perfect. Let's go ahead and toss him in there. Fantastic. Now we're uploading that. Now we've got a lot of things uploading at once. Really pushing the limits here. Perfect. Here we go. So the bug is done. It's complete here. Let's make this a full screen so you can get a better idea of what that looks like. So in the top right there, you see the program. You can see very clearly that this top corner over here does not have that. Does not have that at all. But you can see over here in the preview program, this is program. This is the only window you're going to see any of those overlays actually take place and be present. If you look up here in the program out, that is where you'll see all of the overlays being applied. Now, when we uploaded that spreadsheet, or that's not spreadsheet, but the slideshow, you can see here that I can put that on the right side of the screen. You can also put it to the left if the bug's not there, or make it full screen. Now, what's really useful is you don't have to go in there to change slides. On the bottom left of the screen, let me see right here. Go further down. There we go, right there. So you see those, the 1 out of 14, you can see the little arrows. If I just tap that down there, and you'll notice that the slides change. And let's make this a full screen so you can get a better idea. And all I have to do is press this, and it will change to the next slide. So I don't have to think too much. I don't have to do too many things. I can run the show entirely by myself if I so choose to do it. And gives you a lot of really good creative freedom. Now let's see if the goodest boy, there we go. We got the lead goodest boy over there, which is awesome. So there is a lot of really neat things that you can accomplish with overlays. I know I kind of went through a lot of it. You can do transparencies, change colors, add images, slideshows, presentations. A lot of people do use it for sports. If you really want to see really cool overlays, especially for sports, check out the Multicam show. Will really deep dives multicam graphics and shows you really how you can use the graphics and overlays, transparency features and things like that to really show, sporting play or the players, whether it's a baseball player, scores and things like that, all within the app. I just noticed that I'm not back on the full screen yet. All right, let's get into some more questions again. So Jonathan says, is an official iPad version of Multicam coming? I do not have a timeline, or I cannot confirm whether that's coming or not. I can only, actually I think, did we announce something like that? Maybe Will's controlling the talk doc today to make sure I get all the questions. So he would be the one probably to be able to confirm whether this was on the page or not. I haven't been involved in a whole lot of those things. So we've got NDI integration, video playback, picture-in-picture, and advanced audio mixing all coming soon for the Multicam. As far as the iPad version of Multicam, or tablet version in general, I can only assume it's coming. We're probably going to be working on it, but there's a lot of things that we have to get into the app before we start porting it specifically for an iPad. I can imagine that it's definitely coming, though. It just hasn't been announced, but I don't see any reason why we wouldn't do it. Danielle Campoli says, during the countdown, would be useful to have by default the audio off, and when the stream starts, the audio turns on automatically. I completely agree, or at least the option or a toggle to do something similar. Totally agree with that. It's funny you say that because I was just thinking it earlier. So you can do the same thing for like OBS or Livestream Studio. You can disable all audio sources depending on the scene that you have. So I was just playing with that as well to see if that's something we can make happen. And I think that's a great idea. Ina says, hi Joe, can Mevo be used as a webcam through the PoE adapter? The camera will be mounted on the ceiling. How can I do this? Absolutely. So when you're wanting to use the PoE, what you're going to want to do is use the wireless webcam feature. You're not going to be able to use wired webcam because data and everything, the flow is not going towards the computer. It's going towards the camera. That's where data is going. And you can't transfer UVC, which is what the USB webcam requires, through the PoE. So if you want to use the webcam feature, you're going to want to use wireless webcam feature and use it in the PoE. I know this seems to contradict the term wireless, but the name wireless does not actually mean that it has to be wireless. Specifically, the only requirement the wireless webcam has is that the device is on the same network and it's discoverable. So it can be either wired or wireless. So that's what I would recommend you doing, is checking out wireless webcam. Couple of London photography on YouTube says, hey, how are you? Wonderful. I'm having a wonderful day. It's like 80 degrees out here in New York City. And everyone seems to be in such a great mood with, the great weather and everything. So thanks to you. Hopefully you're doing well. And thanks for tuning in. Danielle says, hi from Mozambique. Can we use videos and transparent PNGs as overlays on Mevo? So you can use transparent graphics in both Mevo 2.0 and on the Multicam app. Now, as far as video overlays, that's not a thing yet, unfortunately, but it's definitely something we want to do, and hopefully sooner than later, because that would really mean that I could use a little bit less computer power and a little bit more use a little bit more of my mobile device. Got a really nice, powerful mobile device here, and if I can get rid of and stop using a computer for live shows, then that's great. So right now, I didn't really have to use the overlays. So the only reason I wouldn't have to use a computer for today's show. The only reason that I am is so I can show you guys things like this. But, in future shows, I would like the idea or the capability of just eliminating the requirement for a computer. I would like to be able to show you specifically exactly what I'm seeing on the screen within the Mevo app. So hopefully that's something our team can deliver. I know I'll continue to harp them. Trust me, I have some desires too when it comes to these apps. And our team is the best team to make those things happen. So I just kind of have to stay on them and hope that they can deliver something that I want. Alrighty. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so we talked about graphical overlays. I don't want to spend too much time. Mumbling. I kind of made it through the graphical overlays a lot faster than I thought I would, which is kind of a bummer. But you know what? There are a few other things I need to talk about today, such as our sales. Right now, we have a Mevo Start DJ bundle. It's good until the 1st of next month. It is going to be a Mevo Start, a Mevo Start case, a Mevo Power Ethernet adapter, and a Mevo stand, a floor stand. So you can take advantage of this sale here until the 1st of next month for US customers only. And not to mention, if you don't need any additional equipment and you find yourself recommending the Mevo to people already, be sure to check out our referral program. So you can go to mevo.com/referral. This is going to allow you to save the person you refer 5%, and in the back end you will see a 5% commission or return, so you can make yourself some money for each referral that you do for any sale on mevo.com. Now the referral program is for US based customers only, so make sure you take advantage of that today. Now, one of the things that I can't stress enough about the referral program is how awesome it is to be able to do this and actually create a custom code. So it's not a Mevo generated code. Now, I believe that you can do that, but you can actually take advantage of a custom code, whether it's named after your sports league, your business, your general area, the geographic location that you're at. If you really want to try to customize it and just show your affiliation with Mevo, you can do that without some generic code. So people have seem to trust custom codes a little bit more than those generated codes. So you can freely name it after your Facebook, your YouTube channel, your Twitch channel, whatever it might be. So I would definitely check that out, especially if you're already recommending Mevo to your friends, users, colleagues, associates, whatever it may be. Yeah, you may as well earn yourself some money on the side. Justin says, when will paid online events on Facebook be available for Multicam? So when it comes to paid online events, I'm assuming you're talking about business integration. Now, I believe the only thing that you can do those with right now is RTMP, which means you can 100% do those with Multicam. You're not going to be able to manage the paid event through Multicam, but you can 100% use RTMP to go to that paid event, regardless of if it's on Facebook, YouTube, whatever it may be. You can use RTMP, and you can do that today. Maximus says, what features come with advanced audio mixing you mentioned? Can you expand on that? Absolutely. So let's go over to the app one more time. Let's go into the ellipsis and press the microphone. All right, so as you can see here, you can see that we've got the Mevo input, we've got the audio processing, general music, speech. This one's a little outdated because it should also have wind. Now, you also have AGC, which is auto gain control, and you can edit inputs and input things such as, you can add things like USB input audio, you can add auxiliary input. So if I were to plug something in like so, give me one moment and I can do that. Awesome. So I went ahead and plugged in a 3.5 TRS, and you can notice that the auxiliary changed over. So we've got line level and mic level options now here, and you can toggle between those. So then you also have things like the Mevo Mic app. So if you were to add the Mevo Mic app, then that would populate as another option. So you can get quite a bit of audio inputs in here and manage them all within the app. And you just can't do that right now in Multicam. So that's where the advanced audio processing comes in with, further control of the internal mic array, and then also further control of those auxiliary inputs, USB inputs, and then external Mevo Mic app inputs. So you'll be able to manage all of that within the Multicam app. Xshan, and I apologize if I butchered that, I apologize. Any update on iPad mic option on the Multicam app? No, so it kind of goes exactly with what I was just saying, the advanced audio processing. All of that, I didn't use that as an example, but yes, that is also one of those that would be included in that batch update. No ETA, unfortunately, but we are glad that you think we're doing awesome work. We do appreciate you, your feedback, so we're glad that you do have the desire to have that feature. The more people who speak up and things like that, the quicker we can kind of try to escalate and prioritize a little bit better. We want to prioritize what people want. We want to prioritize what people want and their desires and things like that, changes, modifications. So by speaking up, that allows us to know what's important to our users. Awesome, fantastic. You guys are just killing it today. Oh, we got someone watching from Oklahoma. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So it looks like Tuck in Oklahoma is watching from Oklahoma. That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. Anyone else here from anywhere really cool? We're here. Our office is in Brooklyn, New York. We do have people scattered around. We have team members in Ukraine. We've got team members in Germany, team members in Canada, the US. We have members, all over the US. I think we've got people in California, New York, upstate New York. We have quite a bit of people. So they're pretty scattered. Let us know where you're all watching from, for sure. Absolutely. I'm very interested. We had the user earlier from Mozambique. So please let us know how or where you're watching from. Definitely want to know for sure. Also, please let us know what kind of shows you want us to do. So these shows, we build them based off feedback. Basically, just about every show we start with those countdowns. Someone's always asking how we did it. So that's where this show came from. People want to know what you can do and what you can accomplish, and we want to show you what you can do with as simple as one Mevo, and then tomorrow shows the Multicam app. So then we can show you what you can really accomplish with 3 Mevo. So we really want to make sure that we're building our content around you. We want to make sure that we're providing you useful information. That way you can go out into the field, spend less time on worrying and wondering, go in informed, go in prepared, and that way you can knock your performance out of the park, whatever it may be, and just be on your way. You don't have to worry about all of the technicalities. We're going to make sure you're prepared for that. So if you do have content you want us to cover a little bit more in depth, please let us know. We absolutely want to make sure we're bringing that content to you. Victor says he's in the Chicago area. That's wonderful. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, we've got another one from YouTube. It appears United Methodist Church says, any plans to allow more than 50 slides in a presentation? Our worship services typically have 80 slides or more. I've not seen any conversations about increasing the slide amount, and I'm not quite sure why the limitation's there. I guess I've never asked. why that limitation's there, but that's definitely something I can look into and find out why that limitation exists. I can assume that we probably didn't just make it up. I'm assuming there's a reason, a technicality, whether that is like a corrupted file or something, or the SD card struggles to handle whatever it might be. I don't want to make things up, but I can only assume that there's an actual reason for it, and I'll find that out for you. So thank you for the question. And if there is a way for us to get more than 50, and that's realistic, especially with changes that we're making in Multicam with the graphical systems, then I can only assume if we can make a change like that in Multicam, I can only assume that hopefully we can do the same thing in the Mevo 2.0 app. Let's see here, CBUS Sports from Dublin, Ohio. Very informative, thanks. Please let me know if this needs to be directed to another forum. Any way to turn on NDI in the Multicam app for the Mevo Start like you can in 2.0. I am actually from Ohio as well. I was born in Columbus, Ohio. I actually was just in Ohio this past weekend. Thanks for tuning in. And so the NDI functionality is actually one of those things that we have on the Mevo.com website that actually discusses exactly what this would look like if, or discusses the coming soon features, whether that's the NDI integration, video playback, picture-in-picture, or advanced audio mixing functionalities. So all of those are coming soon in the Multicam app. Unfortunately, I do not have a date, but I do appreciate you tuning in today, and definitely continue to tune in. What I do recommend is turning on auto update. That way you can get all of those changes as soon as they're available. Thank you. Keep the questions coming. I don't want to wrap it up too soon. Let's see what we've got here. Glasgow, Scotland, Steven says. I've not been to Scotland. Definitely somewhere I would love to go check out. Thanks for tuning in. We have people from all over the world. It's wonderful. Thank you all for tuning in. I want to hit this one more time before we wrap up. So I want to make sure everyone is quite aware, because we are on timelines for our sales specifically. Our sales are typically, they do have deadlines. So you have until the 1st of next month for the Mevo Start DJ bundle. You can get a Mevo Start case, PoE adapter, and a floor stand in the US-based stores. And you're going to save quite a bit of money on that. You can get that for $593.97 and take advantage of that on Mevo.com today. And as I said earlier, we do have multiple shows a week, not only just the Ask Mevo Anything, but we also have Wednesday's Multicam show with Will, where you can learn the ins and outs of Multicam. We've got the Thursday Mevo Live show, where we do basically this show, but kind of on steroids, if I was to describe it. I'm not sure if that's an appropriate way to describe this, but so basically it's this show, but this show and the Multicam show kind of merged together. That way we can hit everything Mevo related. Then Friday we have the Mevo Audio show, where Joseph, our technical specialist that has an audio engineering background, hits all of the audio functionalities, whether it's internal or external audio. So if you're not already, follow, like, subscribe to Mevo Camera on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to get alerts about all of those changes. So I'm going to do one more wrap up of questions before we end out the show. Let's see what we've got here. So let's see. I'm going to go through these real quick. I know Will's doing his best to keep up with the questions. Steven says he'd love for a way for NDI for his Mevo Start. Wonderful. Yes, I agree. I think NDI, input, output, all of it would be wonderful for Mevo. Let's see here. There's just a lot. I don't know how Will's doing it. Richard says, direct from Detroit. Thanks, Richard. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you. Steven says, yep, so I got that. Danielle says, would be nice to have a main screen of the Mevo app. 3 to 4 audio on-off switches for audio sources. This is very important when streaming is direct by the main speaker. Now, I totally agree having some functionality or some freedom to control your audio, whether you're on the main screen or the audio screen, the mixer screen, having that available to you more readily, or making it more readily available is key for everyone. We want to make your flow as easy as possible. So we do appreciate that feedback, and I couldn't agree more. For me to mute my audio right now, I actually go over here and you can hear me sliding this down. And then I can slide it back up. And then if I was not doing that, I'd have to go into the app, press a couple of buttons to mute it. So I totally feel your pain, and I agree that having the ability to mute my audio from that main screen would be rather solid. So thank you for that feedback. All right, so it was a wonderful stream. Thank you all for tuning in today. Do not forget, come back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Will's going to hit everything multicam related. Thank you for all of the questions. Make sure if you're making any cool content and you want to share with us, hashtag Mevo Camera on that content. And until tomorrow's show, I'm Joe Capehart, and we will see you all then. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.